At work or anywhere, thanks for making Para-X part of your day. Your source for everything paranormal. Para-X.
And we're back.
The funk of 40,000 years.
It's sitting next to me. Oh, wait.
Yes.
Hey, guess what?
What?
We're in hour number 2, and we have a special guest. Gonna call her right now.
Really?
Do you know who it is?
Yes, I do, because you mentioned it before the break.
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
But let me guess anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
Could it be Courtney Mroch coming up?
It might be. We'll see. I bet you'll know from the voice.
Okay.
Hola.
Hello.
Hola,
Hello.
señorita.
Hello. I recognize that voice.
I recognize that voice anywhere.
Yes.
Oh, no.
That is Courtney Mroch's voice. We are Moroccan the airwaves. With Courtney. That's awesome.
Hey, Courtney. Happy Halloween.
Almost.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Hope you're enjoying our Halloween Spooktacular.
Spooktacular.
It is spooktacular in a major way.
Yes.
Thank you. Did you like the interview with Amy and Steve?
Yes, very much so.
Aren't they cool?
They are very
Steve
cool.
is
And
hilarious.
I'm very happy that Chip got to cross something off of his bucket list.
Oh, my
Thank
God.
you so much.
You know how,
Not
like,
as happy as
when
I
you were a
am.
little girl growing up, you had the little Barbie van and little Barbie dolls and everything?
That's me.
Steve's got, the Dead Files car and, Steve and Amy dolls, and he sits in his closet and just plays with them all night. It's
Yes.
kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy, but, at least he finally got to talk to them, so.
Yes.
Hey, man, at least he lets his inner child have fun.
Well, got to every once in a while.
And his outer child.
Yes, that too. Both children
I
are
keep
out.
telling him to put his outer child back in, but he doesn't listen to me.
Well, that's just supposed to be behind closed doors, too. No.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I forgot. That was my outside voice.
Wow,
Oops.
mine too. Oops. Did I
Hey,
say
Courtney,
that out
what
loud?
is jaunting this Halloween?
Well, that's a good question. I have a question for you guys. Do you like the Halloween haunted houses that pop up this time of year?
Oh, my God, I love them.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, we've just been on the last two out of the last 3 weeks. I think we've done these haunted hayride deals and stuff on Friday nights. Yeah, absolutely.
He has. I watch them on television if I can.
Yes. Chip would be what that means. Chip would have gone if I actually asked him to, but I didn't. So.
Well, in the spirit of Halloween and an election year, it's people having jobs. So, of course, I love it.
Yes, absolutely.
Because they wouldn't be
Again,
working
that
otherwise.
means he would have gone if I had asked him. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that too. I digress.
Do you have some good ones that you want to tell us about?
Well, I have one. I'm actually terrified of them. I could watch a scary movie any time of the day, but if you take me to a haunted house, I freak out. I cannot wrap my mind around that it's fake.
Yeah.
So
I have a lot of friends that go through the same thing, and that's the people that work those haunted houses will love you. I will tell you that right now.
they love me.
Yes, they live for that stuff, and
Yes.
and if they get any clue that you're freaking out, they will just go the extra mile.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my better half, Kathy, knows that. She is a screamer. I mean, at the haunted houses, and she
Was that
every
your
time
outside
I
voice
did not. I'm getting myself in deeper trouble. Not only am I keeping her from going to bed because I'm in the studio, but now that all right, I'll be
see
on,
a couch and
making my bed on the couch. So she no, they will follow. They just follow her around. That freaks out even worse. You know the ones that they will just stare at you and just kind of follow when you're walking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, that stuff freaks her out. I'm telling you what, I got nail marks on my arms from the haunted house.
You're nice. My husband, he doesn't even walk with me. He's like, nope, get out of here.
Are you serious?
Oh,
that just
man.
means he's more afraid than you are.
I don't know. He just does not want me near him. Now, if he had a camera and he was following us, we could probably be a YouTube sensation by now.
Or at least he'd have an excuse for separating like that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Is there a particular really good one that you've been to that you want to mention?
Well, I did go to Halloween Horror Nights that I went to, and that was terrifying.
That's horror, right?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Horror, yes.
Wow.
Might be a Zumba class somewhere.
One guy says a swear on our show, and then it's open season now.
It is.
Oh, no. No swearing from me.
Oh, good.
But there's one up in New York that really scares. I have not been to it. I would never be able to survive it. Like, literally, I'd be taken away to the nearest morgue.
Wow.
But it's called the Blackout Haunted
Yeah,
House.
in New York City, right?
Oh, the
Yes.
blackout.
You know what I heard about the Blackout Haunted House in New York City? That
He
due to the
has.
storm, they actually had a blackout at the Blackout Haunted House.
Oh.
I don't really know that, but it sounded cool.
Yeah.
That does sound cool.
Yeah,
But
because
that
can you
it
imagine
sounds
it?
terrifying. You have to go through it alone.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, and they touch you, and they take your shoes, and there's naked people.
Oh,
and
so
I'm
that's
going.
for a-
What?
Count me in.
Yes,
Naked people, and they
New
take
York,
your shoes.
America.
Naked foot fetishists alone in a haunted house. What the heck?
they put bags over your head, and then they'll take the bag off, and they'll put a staple gun to your head.
Wow.
Of course, it's empty.
Courtney,
It
That sounds like
Hey,
my
Courtney,
dating past.
I
I've
have a
had a lot
bone-
of girls putting bags over my
Courtney,
head.
I was going to say I have a bone to pick with you, Courtney, because I thought you swore to me you'd never tell about our date we had 20 years ago.
Sorry, oops.
Oops.
Man,
Yeah, it's out of the bag.
Oh,
it's out of the bag. See, that
The
was
black cat.
me
Jeez.
after dating. Yep, out of the bag. Oh my goodness.
so this is a great time of the year for that stuff, and I really do like it. I mean, I think that's the fun of it, though. I mean, being scared, right? I try to act like the tough guy, but I tell you what, I jump just like everybody else. You know what I mean? I might not be scared, but when someone jumps out at you and you're not expecting it, and how about the chainsaw people? You know?
Oh, that
forget about it.
chainsaw people. Gee.
Do you know, is his name Usain Bolt or Usain Bolt?
Yeah, the runner.
The sprinter.
The fastest man
Yes.
alive.
Oh, yeah, I would break his record if they come after me.
Oh, they do that. And of course, they used to do the ones where you'd be on the hayride and they come out with a chainsaw,
Whoa.
and then they put the chainsaw like at the bottom of the wagon so you can feel the vibration. Oh man, I'm telling
It's
you.
at least two senses that are scared.
Yeah, exactly. At least two. I don't even know.
least.
Oh,
And a couple others I don't even know I have get scared.
Yeah, not to mention that feeling you have in the back of your pants, right, when that chainsaw comes up.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good thing they have hay.
That
Yes,
usually happens
and
around.
depends.
That happens around 10 squirty in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
man,
boy.
We're
Oh,
having
Mama.
fun tonight.
So what else? What's you know what I think would be, and see if you think about this. Have you ever? I don't think you've ever been there. Well, maybe you have. How the heck do I know?
I don't know, but
But,
I like thinking. Go ahead.
You know, it'd be a great place, and I know they run an event like twice a year, 3 times a year. There's a whole bunch of places that go there now, but this time of the year would be an incredible time to go over to Romania, to Transylvania,
Oh,
Dracula's
Transylvania,
castle.
Sure.
Oh,
Have you heard about some of those
Vlad
trips?
the Impaler stuff.
I have not been over there yet, but it is high on my list.
Yeah, let's put together a Haunt John's trip
Oh.
there.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
All
Let's
you'd have to
it.
do is buy my ticket, and I'm in.
Okay.
I actually
I'll
met a
just
guy.
have to win the lottery or something, but if
Oh,
I
yeah.
do,
All right,
Okay.
cool. I'm
well,
going to
we
hold you to
start
that.
playing. I think the Powerball and the Mega Millions were way up there last time I looked. You know?
Oh.
So it's a good thing. I actually met somebody. I think it was at Syracuse, who at least claimed to be a distant relative of Vlad the Impaler.
no way.
Yeah, well, that's what he said, and that's what I said. No way. But he maintained that, he was, in fact, and he came up with a lot of facts that seemed to defend our friend Vlad.
He really stuck his neck out on that statement, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That joke just went right through me, John. In one ear and out the other.
Well, that's the way it goes.
There's so much at stake here.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I was trying to figure out a steak one.
Wow.
Would I? Okay.
Oh, boy.
I'm just not
That's a-
quick.
So what are you doing for Halloween?
Here, look.
Oh, just handing out some candy.
Really? Do you get a lot of trick-or-treaters still? I found that trick-or-treaters have gone way down ever since I slaughtered all the neighborhood children a couple years ago.
Oh,
Oh, wait a minute.
goodness.
Oops. That's my outside voice again.
That was you. Oh,
Anybody
I knew
listening and
I-
knows where I live, that means don't come to my house. on
Knew I
Halloween.
liked
know.
you
So
for-
that's where my child went.
I would never slaughter an innocent child. An innocent child. I would.
Have we met hers, though?
No, I don't know.
Well, there you go.
I think one of them wanted to use the phone when I was going to call her earlier, so we don't know what happened with the fate of his.
Oh, my goodness.
Uh-oh.
No, so do you get a lot of trick-or-treaters on Halloween, though? Seriously? I mean, as a...
Not as many as, even 10 years ago, but...
Yeah, we
And
used...
does it ever, when I was little, and even still now, I get a little bit anxious when I go to answer the door. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know what might be there.
Yeah, me too. Because I'm afraid somebody will say, it's you that put the razor blade in my gum, and I don't like you.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
No, actually, we had one last year, one trick-or-treater last year, and I bought bucket loads of candy, which is good because I got the stuff I liked. It's kind of the Christmas gift-giving thing. You buy something that you want, so if the person doesn't like it, you get to keep it. Same thing with the candy. I bought those body part gummy things, which I love. And nobody came, so I savored them. They were wonderful. Wonderful Halloween last year.
I just remember being a kid and getting like 30, 40, 50, 60. Running out of candy was common. And now, you buy 3, 4, 5 bags of candy, whatever, and you give out like 3 pieces. It's like,
yeah.
I'm not complaining because then I get all the extra candy. But, it's Halloween has almost become more of an adult holiday now with the Halloween parties and
especially like
paranormal investigations.
Best
and
part
of
Halloween, outside of all the paranormal investigating stuff and how this is a Christmas for us, best part of Halloween is the week after when all that candy goes on sale.
Oh, yeah.
That's when we really celebrate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kind of like Christmas, in January when everything's like totally on sale. That's when you buy the stuff.
That's true.
It's just so sad that the kids don't, because that was, I think, probably for you guys growing up too. That was a huge day. I mean,
oh my God,
yeah.
It was second to
you
Christmas
would be
for
out
me.
all
That's
night.
it.
Well,
I loved
not
it.
all night, but
I'm actually old enough where we weren't trick or treating before people started doing nasty things to candy. That's
Wow.
how old I am.
Yeah, and you know what?
But it was great. Honestly, I know we're being funny, but that was awesome.
The only problem Chip ever had every year going trick or treating was trying to get the horse. The horse never wanted to go and go house to house. He never wanted to cooperate.
No, the guy who was the front part of the horse. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, that's what it was.
Then my outfit just didn't fit well enough, and people didn't get it.
oh,
Yeah.
they're
So-
like, "What's going on here?"
Yep. They'd say, "Well, you are what you wear."
So what are some of the
Uh-oh.
Courtney? What are some of the forgotten Halloween traditions? Halloween traditions are a great thing. Like I remember being a kid and everybody would. If there was a Halloween party for kids, we'd bob for apples. Nobody does that anymore.
For apples,
yeah.
nobody.
Remember
I
that?
don't think people do that anymore. But maybe because it's unsanitary or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yep. Schools have to do. Now they're telling you what sodas you can and can't drink. For goodness sakes, I mean, let alone bobbing
even
for
the
apples.
schools. When I went to school, we would wear our costumes, and now they don't have that. They call it fall parties.
Oh
yeah.
we call it
Like-
political correctness.
Yeah, up here
Really?
you could wear a costume, but you cannot wear a mask.
Yeah.
So, which I guess you could put makeup on. I don't know why that's any different than wearing a mask, but
Yeah.
And then my poor son, Halloween got canceled due to the storm that we're actually not having right now.
Well, we're not having it, but certain people
places
are.
are. I'm not sure how bad. I don't think it's too bad where he is either. But they
hope
canceled it
not.
as a
I hope
precaution,
not.
and now he's got to wait to Saturday to go trick or treating. I told him half the candy's going to be stale by then. So
Oh no!
no, it won't. I didn't really tell him that. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, oh no, about he has to wait till
Oh
Saturday.
yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
He wasn't very happy. He wasn't.
No.
Oh,
No.
that's even worse than people putting things in your candy.
Yeah.
That's
Which
Well,
I've heard that they don't really, that there's never actually been a documented case.
No, it's actually urban legend as far as I know. I've never seen one either, although there are emergency rooms that will tell you different, or at least people trying to do things based on the urban legend.
Yeah.
But I'm going back to the bobbing apple thing because I want school systems to know this. We have immune systems for a reason,
Oh, boy.
okay? The more you protect it... No, seriously, I mean, we've got anti-germ stuff to put on our hands. Nobody plays in the sand anymore. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can't eat certain things. The mayor of cities are telling us what we can and can't drink, for goodness sakes, and then saying that the government doesn't get in our business. And no, I'm getting emotional, but I will say this. We have immune systems for a reason, so you have to, stress them every once in a while so you can be healthier down the road.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Well said.
I totally agree with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So on that note, Court, I want to thank you so much for joining us on the Halloween Spooktacular.
Oh, thank you for having me on tonight. I'm so
Awesome.
glad that it worked out. I'm
I
sorry
did. Well, we
for
ta-
the people who lost power, but
I am sorry for the people who lost power, too. And don't worry, Para X will rerun the show 14,000 times.
Yes,
during the
we
week.
will. And I want to thank you for telling me where I can find scary naked people for Halloween. that is
That'll take
awesome.
your shoes.
Yeah,
I'm there.
you're welcome.
All right, thanks a lot,
You
Court.
Mroch, Courtney.
Mroch our
You
world.
Mroch.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Oh,
Court. We'll
thank
talk to
you.
you in a couple weeks.
Okie doke.
Yeah,
have a
good
great
night.
Halloween.
You
Yes,
too.
we
Happy
will.
Halloween.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Oh, we will so look forward to that.
Hey, so we're going to do some cool stuff. Hey, I want to tell you guys, 518-300-3619. This is your chance to get on the air with us and talk about your favorite things to do with Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
If you want to talk about Halloween, what you're doing, what you used to do, and what some of your traditions are, we'd love to hear from you.
Sure.
Even if you have a Halloween ghost story. I have a Halloween ghost story that I'll tell you in a little bit from last Halloween. It's pretty creepy.
Ah, yes. It is creepy.
It is creepy. We're going to take another real short break. And we will be right back. I'm also going to play a game that I like to call a random Skype contact.
Well, thank God it's not spin the bottle. I'd be a little worried.
So we'll be right back.
3619, right?
867-531.
No, wait, our number. 300
518-300-3619.
3619.
300-3619.
3619. Memories, they were good memories, but
you had memories?
I digress.
Memories.
I did. Yeah, we were jamming to that zombie tune like that.
That was good stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the Rage Against the Machine version?
Of that?
Yes.
No, I have not.
Oh, well, good, because there isn't one.
Oh, there we go.
You. Yeah.
Hey, Chip, what is your favorite Halloween tradition?
My favorite Halloween tradition? Wow. I guess watching movies that I know but other people don't, so I can watch them, get scared.
So watching horror movies and watching other people get scared.
Yeah.
Do you watch when you were growing up? Not when you were growing up, but when your daughter was growing up, for instance, does she like the horror movies? Like to stay up late on Halloween? You let her stay up a little later and watch the scary movies, kind of deal.
Yeah, I actually did something, and I'll put it out there. People are going to question my integrity here, but I don't care. I would show my daughter a scary movie when she was very young, but tell her when everything was going to happen and what was going to happen, because we had a situation where kids were bringing guns to school, and bad things happened. So I wanted to get her ready for stuff like that. By testing her early, so she would be the one calm person in the room.
Ah, how did that work?
It really didn't work that well. But she had the advantage of being the only girl that was less scared at these movies than the boys in the neighborhood. So when they were little kids, she was like she had bragging rights. As a girl against the boys, she could say, "Wow, I can handle that better than you boys, kid."
She takes after your wife, then she's gonna have she's gonna be a tough girl, so she's gonna be able to handle a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Chances are she stayed up late to keep you from being scared. That's my guess.
My wife did, yeah.
Oh, well, either one.
But I will say that Nightmare on Elm Street had the integrity of actually representing metaphysics. Metaphysical philosophy, actually.
Oh, I have a delivery.
Oh, you did very good.
Very, very nice.
Is that what a snake bite looks like?
Yeah, apparently I have a foot massage to do later.
Okay.
Not that I'm complaining.
More than I really... I'm happy for you. I'll just say that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. See,
So
it's a good trade-off. I just kind of said too much, so you did, too.
I did, but that's what it's all about.
Awesome.
So I'm saying, Wednesday, Halloween, we're trying to actually get into a haunted location to investigate. Still.
Are we really?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things out there. One of them is...
How about that place last year?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
You were actually...
I'm banned from there, I believe.
That's a great segue, too, because it kind of leads into something that you promised you would do.
It did?
Yeah, last year, your scary story, because last year was when it happened.
It
on
is.
Halloween,
it is
wasn't
when it happened. We'll see if my guest is ready. If my guest is not ready, I will tell the spooky story.
Okay, cool. Meanwhile, I will mention that A Nightmare on Elm Street, I showed my daughter A Nightmare on Elm Street when she was young. I told her exactly everything that was going to happen before it happened, so she would not be frightened. He explained to her that nothing like that would ever happen to her in real life, and these are movies that were set to scare people on purpose, and if she knew what was going to happen, then she could, maybe... Well, I didn't tell her, but I thought maybe it would work at calming her in frenzied situations.
Hey, that said, are you ready for our surprise guest?
Sure.
Oh, cool. Let me call her right now. Hello.
Hello.
Happy Halloween.
I know that voice. Wow.
Wow, I know that voice.
I recognize that. Wait, don't tell me. I recognize that voice from... Para X, right?
Para X.
Like
The
Thursday?
first person in our chat room to
Thursday
name the
on
person
Para X.
will win a prize. Will win Chip's left gym sock. If they can name who's on the line with us tonight.
Yeah, and the good news is I brought Febreze with me, so it's okay.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well, hey, Marla, happy Halloween.
Well, thank you. You too.
Thank you for joining us in such short notice.
You
We
just
decided.
gave the answer away, John. Now I can't give a gym sock away.
Well, you probably we'll come up with another contest for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
We decided that
that
since
you're awesome. That's what we
that
decided.
too. And since half the country is under hurricane watch and the East Coast, besides us, is shut down, we were going to go an extra hour. And I thought, originally I was going to have Mark Tetlow on, and of course he's busy, I don't know, tying his shoes or something, so he couldn't come on. I don't know, he's busy plumbing with Jason Hawes. I'm not sure what he's doing, but one of those things. Which this is probably my last show now that I said that,
Yeah.
but it's okay.
Just in case he's listening, I wanted to put it out there that Mark Tetlow is awesome. Okay,
Yeah,
he is
nice.
a wonderful human being.
Thanks, Chip.
I bow to him. I salute him. I think
Wow.
he has done a lot for our craft.
Yeah, now this is Chip's last show.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, now, we just need to know if groveling works.
That's right.
that's right. Welcome to the Chip Show.
We were
Keeping the
sort of
spirits-
kind of talking about Halloween traditions.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask you, growing up as a kid, what was your favorite Halloween tradition? They've sort of kind of fallen to the wayside now. They're not so much, Halloween was so much for the kids growing up, and now it's kind of turned into more of an adult holiday, I find.
Yeah, I think, probably like everybody, the costumes were the best tradition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Deciding what to go as and, trying to talk your parents into getting you the one you really want rather than the one that was on sale from last year kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And now the kids, they can't even wear them to school. We were talking with Courtney about that up here you can wear the costume, but you can't wear it if there's a mask. You can't wear a mask, and there was never any problem with that, and it's just a sign of the times.
Yeah, well, I think we had one day that we could, wear them before recess or something. I don't know, but that was just in elementary school. Junior high and high school, we were not allowed to wear costumes.
Yeah. I think if I remember, I was a child of the 80s. I pretty much looked like I was wearing a Halloween costume every day of the week, so it didn't really matter for me. I had the parachute pants and the, what did I have? I had the Don Johnson jacket. I remember that. I thought I was cool. I had dyed blonde hair, spiked up. Oh, yeah, it's good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, now I just use it to play darts with, but those pictures, but. So what are you doing this Halloween?
I don't know. I mean, I've set up my altar, so I'm going to do a little ancestor worship remembrance kind of thing. I think
should
it's going to
say
be pretty
Samhain,
quiet.
right?
Huh?
What's the pronunciation? Samhain, right?
Samhain, yeah.
Samhain,
Samhain,
yes.
yep.
Happy Samhain.
Or someone.
Or a blessed one or whatever, yeah.
Yes.
And I think everybody around here is going to be home, so we'll probably be giving out candy.
Oh, do you still get a lot of trick-or-treaters?
Yeah, here in the suburbs we do, and it's new to me because, I've only been here a couple of years, but when I was in Hollywood proper, I mean, parents would not let their kids out after dark, and people really wouldn't answer the door if somebody rang after dark on Halloween, because
Right.
it's just a little dicey in the big city.
Yeah.
But here, yeah, they seem to have a lot of kids running around, and it's still the same way. And years ago, when I was working for a doctor, did that for a while, for a long time, somebody had brought in a skeletal remain. It was from the scapula down to the wrist. And it came from Germany or something. I don't know why they brought it into the office, but they left it with us. So, it needed a home. And I was going to a Halloween party with my friends Jenny and Steve, who I'm renting from now. And so I gave Steve the arm. And what he used to do every year was...
I give Chip the finger.
Yeah.
He would tie the basket that he put candy in onto the hand and then stick it out the door for kids. And he named it Fritz, and Fritz is still around after these many years. So I think we'll probably bring Fritz out and see. Although now then it was kind of funny. Now it's just kind of creepy that some skeleton is, missing an arm. I wonder where the rest of it went.
Wow.
And hope the guy that owned it isn't coming and looking for it.
That's
Well,
quite
he's
a
not listening,
coincidence.
or you're going to be
though,
getting a phone call if he's listening, right?
Yeah. I
Well,
do.
let's see. He's been so long dead that it will be a paraphone call, probably in the form of an EVP or just a very loud yelling in our ear or something.
A paraphone call, not 2 phone calls, but a paraphone call. We get that.
There you go.
Yeah. So, is there so then I already know this question kind of, but so I'm assuming you're doing a nice big ritual coming up. Would it be on Samhain, or is it the day after that is the big solstice ritual that you would do?
Well, I usually do it on Samhain. I mean,
Okay.
Samhain is, they call it Samhain Eve or whatever, but that seems to be when you just kind of feel a little bit more. The day after is good too, but there's just something about that night that's very magical. And
Absolutely.
that's when I hit it up. And I don't do a big ritual. I've said this before. I'm a lazy witch. But, I do light candles. I do burn incense. I do kind of, talk to the spirits and the ancestors and things like that.
Right.
It's kind of, I mean, if I was in a coven, there would be a big, whoop-de-doo. But
Yes.
being a solitary, I just kind of keep it low-key.
Right. Hey, I wanted to it just the whole atmosphere and the air on Halloween to me feels different. It's just that you can feel the energy in the air different than the rest of the year. That's my feeling anyway. I wanted to bring up the Reverend Witch Seance from the other night. That was a great show. You guys did
Yes.
a wonderful job. Of course, you and Tim are fantastic, and whenever there's a Reverend Witch show, we always love it. But certainly a special show when you guys do the seance on a Halloween show. That was incredible. Good job.
Yes.
He's great, and I think because he and I have pretty much the same sensibilities about all this stuff, it's really pretty easy. I threatened him beforehand not to bring anybody that's going to scare the hell out of me, but and he got the same stock answer. Well, I can't help who comes in, But
Well, you can't help what you do when you're alone and practicing. Just tell him that.
The first guy that came through I think it was the first guy that was Gregory. The name was, I believe, if I remember. I kept listening to the voice. I'm thinking, I thought Tim was turning into Marlon Brando from The Godfather. I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender.
just sounded
The
so
voice was so out there. It was crazy.
tired,
Yeah, very worn and tired. Absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes you just don't know what to make of people that come through. Sometimes, some were suggesting that he was in limbo and stuck there and hadn't crossed, and then at the same time he's talking about how frustrated he is with those that don't cross. All the spirits that are kind of floating around in limbo. So it was just it was interesting.
He had some good advice. I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, he did.
Are seances something that you've done a lot of, or is it just something you would do on a special occasion like this?
I did a couple when I was writing my Ghosts of Hollywood book. There were a couple spots that we went to that we did seances at. And been to a couple of other ones. Doing it on the air like we did, where we're inviting people to join in, that they are part of the circle and everything, is really a little bit unique for seances.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we, do double, like, prayers of protection and things.
Right.
That's why I did the lesser banishing ritual and things.
It has to add to the energy, though. I mean, if all the people joining in.
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, a whole bunch of like-minded people coming together and sending out energy like that, sure, it makes a big difference. It helps a lot. And I wasn't kidding, Tim and I both, throughout the year, hear from people who pop up and say, well, this is what happened to me when we were listening to your seance. And so the first time we did it, we didn't know if it would work. It was just kind of a drop in the bucket, and I said, well, let's try it. What's the worst thing that can happen? You can, Tim, you can do a song and dance if nobody comes through.
Well, we appreciate that you took the chance in the first place. I mean, that's a very cool thing. And yes, admittedly, there's a lot of risks that could potentially get involved in this thing. But you guys were brave enough to take the chance, and we thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Tell Tim that, because he's still grousing at me for coming.
One of the things, I had to ask him, and it just because it's so surreal that I haven't listened to too many of the seances, and it floors me when I hear it. I'm like, for just a second, I'm like, and I know Tim, and I absolutely know the answer to this, but I'm like, was that totally real? And he's like, yeah, unfortunately, it really was. I'm like, I know it was, but I just had to hear you say it because it's just so surreal to hear these energies coming through him like that. It's just, and I imagine he said it was just drained afterwards. The energy it takes to do that was just draining for him.
And I'm trying to get, I think next year, I was going to mention it this year, but he was a little bit under the weather and I didn't want to push it. But since he's producing the show, we could very well, he and I, video back and forth.
Ooh. Oh, that would be cool.
Wow.
There are seances where, when a spirit comes through, the channel takes on the characteristics of whoever's coming through.
Really?
Tim did mention that he was kind of hunched over and literally kind of drooling on his keyboard with Gregory, taking on, I guess, the pain or whatever the guy's going through. I would like to be watching Tim to see if you get that kind of mask and any facial changes and expressions that might come through. So I might try and twist his arm a little bit harder next year to see if we could do that. And it might scare the hell out of me. So.
Still, it would be cool. I guess I'll speak for myself. Definitely got the impression that he would have been hunched over, grimacing a bit. I mean, it kind of it came out in the voice. I mean, so much more than just a voice came out with that voice when Gregory was speaking. And but it would be very cool to see it on video.
Yeah.
But I could imagine. I was sitting there imagining all of that. So very cool.
Yeah, I mean, you really kind of you feel for the entities that come through sometimes. The emotion is very strong, and I think that's part of what really drains Tim is that emotional stress.
Absolutely.
Marla, what's coming up this week on Stirring the Cauldron?
Funny you should ask. There were several people in the chat room during the seance, and I know Tim wanted to do a couple of readings before we got started just to kind of get into the swing of things. And there were people that wanted, we said we would do them at the end if we had time. And normally these seances don't go quite as long as this one because he usually doesn't have the stamina or they just come and go, and we ran out of time. So that's why I kind of put him on the spot on the air after the seance and said, how about coming on my show next week and doing the readings that people didn't get this time? And
Very
it's
nice.
really great because Tim does not generally do readings here and stuff. Readings, at events and things like that. So, I mean, anybody that gets a chance to come in and get a reading by Reverend Tim, it's a good thing.
I'll be there.
That is so cool. I mean, I know, too, actually, John and I both know that sometimes we get questions in the chat room that we don't have a chance to ask on behalf of the chat room people, the people that we're interviewing. And there's a certain amount of guilt that goes with that I think that's an awesome idea, one, and very exciting, two. I can't wait.
Yeah, I think next week for our show, Chip, we should just call more random people that we didn't get to call tonight, and just that could be like the format of our show going forward.
Yeah,
but at least
I like it.
Marla, I want to say thank you so much. I know it took you completely off guard and just on a whim like that, but I said we're going to call random Skype people, and I saw you actually online, so I had to at least ask. So I really appreciate it. I know want to let you get back to your night, but thank you so much. You're always so wonderful to talk to and so gracious. So appreciate your time.
Oh, well, thanks so much.
Thanks, and we'll be. Go ahead, Chip.
You'll be happy to know. I just wanted to get this out that it's coincidence. You and I have a lot of coincidences, and I will just say that John's finger that he gives me every Halloween, I've nicknamed Fritz. So how about that?
I don't even know what that means, but that sounds great. Sure.
Know.
Thanks, Marla, for hanging on to listen to that.
Pays when you listen to Conversation Show.
Absolutely.
There, Chip. I just can't figure it out.
Marla, thanks so much. Happy Samhain, and we will definitely be tuning in on Thursday to Stirring the Cauldron, 9 o'clock, right here on Parax. Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Have a good night
Marla.
now. Bye-bye. Here we are, left there, our humble abode. Thanks so much for Marla Brooks. That was really, that's what you call impromptu.
Awesomeness.
What do you call improvisation? That's just me saying, hey, want to come on our show? And Marla probably rolling her eyes and head. No, she wouldn't do that. She's so sweet. But she said yes, so that's all that really matters, and that's great.
And we got some awesome insight into Thursday night's show.
That's
for them.
true. I'm going to try to wrangle us up another guest.
Okay, cool.
Let's see what I can do in a short amount of time.
All right. Well, just randomly say that I like when Tim and Marla get together on Thursday night.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. You know what is also awesome on Parax? First of all, I want to say thank you very much to Rebecca and Kara and the Shadows for letting us take their hour tonight.
Yes.
I don't want to just not say that. Unfortunately, they weren't able to do a live show due to Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah. We're so sorry that that came about for them.
And we grabbed their hour. So thank you very much for that. Stay tuned after us for, I believe, an encore presentation of Dark Sun Rising with Eric B. So I wanted to mention that. Thank you, and hope you guys are all safe out there.
Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers are with all of you that are facing this storm.
Absolutely. Hey, we have another surprise guest I'm going to call right now. And we are going to give away a Chips Left gym sock on this one. I will not say the name. The first person in the chat room to guess who it is gets Chips sock, and we're going to put some Hershey's Kisses in it for you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about that?
I don't know.
Hola.
I wouldn't want one of those Hershey's Kisses, I'll tell you that.
Hola. Hello.
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 Oh.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
I know that voice.
All right.
Wow. I can't say, though, because, well, it's my sock,
Your sock.
Well, John said that the first person that guesses who our guest is wins my left gym sock, and they're going to put Hershey's Kisses in it, which is, boy, that's just off-putting to begin with. But I know this voice.
I heard all the dogs were hitting the highway.
Oh, hey, we have a winner.
Oh, we have a winner. Who's a winner?
Karen knows Craig.
Karen, you're going to get Chips Left sock filled with Hershey's
Congratulations,
Kisses.
Karen. She was asking me about that.
And a year's supply of Rice-A-Roni, the San Francisco treat.
The San Francisco treat?
Absolutely.
Wow. I want the cable car.
Hey, Chip, at what point do you think Parax is going to regret giving us an extra hour?
I think as 1 minute into it, and I think that.
I can't. But you know what? We made up for it by having Marla and now Craig on.
Yes, and by the way, we are speaking with Craig Eugene. Yes,
of Insights on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. right here on Parax.
Yeah,
Craig, you're going to be having a Halloween show, and people will be calling in. Is Jeff filling in for you on that?
Oh no,
you're doing that.
I'm actually going to be there. Jeff's going to kind of host with me.
Oh, cool! Very cool.
Yep.
Very nice. So folks can call in and just talk about their favorite Halloween stories and different things. It's going to be kind of a loose, open kind of show, I guess.
Anything they want to call in about, something funny, something serious. Kind of like to keep it lighthearted, but I mean, can't stop people from calling in and sharing something paranormal that's happened to them either.
That's true too. Wow, that sounds awesome. I will so be there.
What's your fondest Halloween tradition or memory that you have from being a kid? When you were a kid, not being a kid now, of course, but.
God, that's so far back, I'm not sure I can remember.
See, that's why you and I get along so well, because we.
To be real honest with you, when you mentioned the bobbing for apples thing, that was a big tradition that we did as a kid, and I know last year Jeff and I did a Halloween show. He was at one of the haunted locations there in Wisconsin, and I kept giving him a bad time about bobbing for apples, and everybody that he'd bring on, I'd ask, what time's the apple bobbing start? You don't hear about that. You don't hear those types of things anymore.
No.
I don't know if it's slobber in the water or.
Yeah, well, back then there was square dancing afterwards, so you could work off all those germs.
That's actually one of my favorite bands, Slobber in the Water. I love them.
Yeah, Promenade and Do-Si-Do and all that stuff. You could work off the germs,
Right, put your right foot in.
I never cared about germs when I was a kid, and I don't really care that much about them now, but a lot of people do. I say that now.
It's too much.
I'm earning my spot on the couch more. I don't care about germs. I bob for apples all the time.
I think another thing now, especially this year, would be the price of apples.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, we went to this one store. My wife likes these, I don't know, jazz things or Gage or something. They always nickname them. They're all new to me. I just remember Red Delicious and something green. That's it. But they had this jazz or something that was like $4.99 for a half pound, which I think, and the apple was about the size of my head. So you buy an apple, and it was like $6 just for the apple. I think maybe that's why nobody bobs for him anymore. It's not the germs, it's the money, man.
That could be true.
Yeah.
Imagine what it would cost you to put caramel around that.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it.
Now we're getting into the big bucks.
So, Craig, I got to ask you: are you sensing any energies in the room with Chip and I? Because we're not feeling any right now.
No.
Now, you guys feel pretty numb.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
That's what we were thinking.
It's his beer. That's what it is.
It is. I had a delivery tonight. That's cool. I've never had a beer
Yes.
delivery during a show before. That's definitely a first.
Yeah, that is a first.
Did you get a chance to hear Steve and Amy earlier? Aren't they funny? Like
Yes.
They were great. Steve cracks me up, man. He's just a straight shooter. Says it how it is, and loves stuff like that. They were very cool. Definitely want to have them on again sometime. Maybe next Halloween. Maybe a Halloween tradition. Speaking of Halloween traditions,
Probably not a cop you'd want to have met on the beat.
No,
not at all.
No. He did this show called Watching the Detectives. It's on Crime International or so. It's CI, and it's Crime something. And it's a really good show. The detectives feature some of their better stories throughout their lives, either ones that everybody knows or some of the ones that meant something to them, either because they were scared senseless or it's the guy, their white whale that they caught or whatever. And he had a few of those, and boy, he was really good. He was really good at what he did. He's still good, just judging by the research he does with the paranormal stuff. But he was really, really good. It's just when he looks at people as they're telling their stories, if they keep up with the story, then they must be telling the truth if he's looking at them like that, But he's just the way he looks at them. Really something.
So, Craig, you have some cool guests coming up over the next few weeks. You want to tell us a little bit about who's coming up over the next? Get the Halloween special Wednesday. So that's going to be the special call-in show and talk about whatever you want to talk about, your Halloween experiences, paranormal experiences, just whatever is going on. What's coming on after that?
November 7th, I have Pam Osley. Pam was on it's been maybe 6 weeks ago. Had a bunch of people that were upset they didn't get a chance to call. She reads aura colors.
Yes.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I remember her on. That was great. Cool. She's coming back. That's cool.
Yep. And then I have from London, Stephen Judd, who is an astrologer, and good old Bill Bean coming on to talk about his upcoming movie.
Right.
I didn't even know he had an upcoming movie.
Yeah,
Bill's
Bill
awesome.
Bean.
He's always good. He's always a great guest.
And then end the month, I think, with Peter Wright, who does past life regressions.
Ooh.
Oh, speaking of past life regressions, Chip actually did a past life regression on me.
Yes.
And he figured out that I actually need to have a life in order to have a past life. So
It was quite a process, but yeah. No, I'm certified, actually.
certified as a lot of things. I don't know about past life regressionists.
Yeah. Certified is, that's why I just stopped there. People make up their own minds on
Exactly.
that.
No, it was actually a pretty cool experience. Let me ask you this on past life regression, because I've always been kind of fascinated with it ever since I saw it happen to somebody. For me, it felt to me like when I was going under that, I had complete control and that I could open my eyes and say whatever I wanted whenever I did. But for whatever reason, I never did, and I went with it. And so I woke out of this and thinking, you know what I mean? Do you get that a lot? Do people feel like it just comes out, but it doesn't feel like it, or is there just different stages of hypnosis when the past life happens? Because like I said, I felt like I could have at any time just sat up and said, "This isn't working," but yet that never happened. So I'm thinking it was working. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, to be honest with you, I always thought that I was one that could never be hypnotized.
Okay.
I remember several years ago, I went to one of those group stop smoking deals, and the guy stood up front, and I remember it was like 5 minutes after 8, and he started in on his little talk about how dangerous cigarettes are and all this here stuff, and next thing you know, the lights were coming back on in the room, and I'm looking around. I look at my watch, and it's like an hour and 15 minutes had went by. It's like, whoa.
Stir of Echoes, for real. Hey, did you ever see that? That's a Stir of Echoes was a movie. Kevin Bacon and Catherine Irby, and Kevin Bacon was just as you described. Nobody can hypnotize me. That's ridiculous. But he went so under that he came out of it with the ability to talk to the dead. It was a little far-fetched, but very well done. And even though I forgot what my initial question to you, Craig, was, it was a really good movie.
Do you have a favorite, let's say, a favorite paranormal type or horror movie, Craig?
Probably not. I mean, I do get into Zaffis' show, The Collector.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some of the other ones on TV are, and don't take this the wrong way,
We
but
won't.
just too phony.
Since we don't have one yet, we'll say we agree.
That's right. As long as it's not our show, yeah.
But what about as far as like
we do agree.
like
there
the,
has to be more honesty and truth in
Yes.
even on television. But I mean, the movies, forget about it. But even on television, there should be.
But what about horror movies in general? This is the time of the year where everybody, speaking of Halloween traditions, a lot of people gather around and watch horror movies together more so than any other time of the year. Are there any particular ones that stand out for you? I can tell you, my favorite horror movie of all time is probably The Shining. That still creeps me out to this day. Just the atmosphere of the whole movie.
Or The Exorcist.
Oh, see, love that one.
The crawling down the stairs backwards deal. They were just talking about that the other night. That's still creepy. I don't care. I don't care who you are there. I sound like Larry the Cable Guy.
I mean, I hear the theme song to it, and that's
yeah.
Tubular Bells.
Mike
sure.
Oldfield.
Yep. Hey, I have a related question. When that movie came out, okay, I was at the age where I think I saw it a week after it was out, but by then everyone told me what was going to happen in the order that it was going to happen, because it had such word of mouth that, like, if you didn't see it in its first 3 days, then you'd have to basically get play-by-play before you went in. Was it like that for you when you went to see it?
pretty much.
Yeah, because that was back in the day. I mean, everybody talked about that one. See, we can identify with that stuff, John.
Yeah.
In a small town, and where you knew everybody, so one theater.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies, though, that I think the hype, I mean, everybody, I think, you just got nervous going in to see it because of everybody, how it was so different from anything that had been out before that,
Yeah. Well,
it brought horror to a
in
whole
our
new
town,
level.
well, like Night of the Living Dead, and Craig, you'll probably remember this too. They gave sick bags, barf bags away in the theater. The Exorcist and Night of the Living Dead. But it started with Night of the Living Dead, which I think was like 1968, 69, and that was so ahead of its time. Did you get a chance to see that when it was out?
No, I have seen it since.
Mm-hmm.
I was just a young pup then.
Ah, so
You're dating yourself, Chip.
I do that a lot. Well,
Mostly
before I
because-
got married, I
Mostly
did.
because no one else would have dated you.
That's right. Yes.
We kid. Chip had a lot of dates, and he had some prunes as well.
Yeah, that's right. And figs. But did they have barf bags for The Exorcist when you went to see that, or was it not in that theater at that time?
No, actually, they did hang out. They did hand out barf bags.
See,
They're actually doing that for keeping the spirits alive now, right? Before 8 o'clock, Para X hands out barf bags for our show, believe it or not.
Yeah, now
We
they do.
actually overnight them. They send in their order on Sundays, and
Yeah, see? There you go. We think you thought we were kidding. But
But the good news is we'll have logos for them next week.
That's right, logos, absolutely.
hey, never thought of that.
Hey, Craig, thanks so much for taking some time out of your night to join us. And
Craig, you rock.
Wednesday
brother.
night, 8 o'clock, Insights, Halloween special this week. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll be listening, buddy.
Absolutely.
Take
Thanks a
care,
lot.
guys.
Have a good night. Hey, we've got just a couple of minutes left. I did want to mention one thing that we didn't mention all night. The Irish Miss this past weekend was awesome.
Oh, my goodness, we didn't mention that all night. No, it was awesome, and, boy, the footage was really quite something. John put that together. I didn't get a chance to really help put that together. But the outcome was awesome. I'm proud of you. You did great.
Thanks,
and
buddy.
man, oh, man, there is just something to that place that is a rarity. It really rivals the My Ghost Story shows,
Yep.
the kind of things that we got.
Yeah, that's going to be the new Glory Hounds home base now. We're going to have team meetings there, and we're going to get together there quite a bit, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. I also should say that Karen, who won my sock, will get a Keeping the Spirits Alive sickness bag.
Nice.
Also,
As a bonus.
well, you should. It should be arriving in the mail sometime next week. And the chocolate, maybe I'll send it separately because I like you.
That sounds excellent. And I want to just send a special specials. We only have one event we'll talk about later coming up in the next few weeks, but our year is just about done as far as investigations and that goes. I want to spend a special shout-out to the person that makes all of this happen. Okay, I'm supposedly the founder, lead investigator, blah, blah, blah. Kathy, without you, none of this happens. You're my world. You make everything Glory Haunt and everything in my world happen. I love you so much. Thank you. And I just wanted to say that on the air because it's true.
Wow.
So, on that note, we are just about... What?
Yeah, we got... coming up next.
So we have an encore presentation of Dark Sun Rising and Through Blue Topaz, so please stay tuned. And we will leave you with this note right here. Yeah. And we will see... Oh, I wanted to mention real quick, November, next month, is Paranormal Literacy Month.
Right.
So pick up a paranormal book and read it all 4 weeks next month.
Authors.
Yeah. Authors is our theme. So we're going to have some great guests, including Jeff Mudgett next week, author of Bloodstains, the story of his great-great-grandfather, H.H. Holmes, the country's most prolific serial killer. It's going to be a fantastic interview. So join us then. We will leave you on this note, and happy Halloween.
Thanks for listening, everybody. See you next Monday.